Yes, I wasn't going to talk, but I figured I'd better because I'm your county board rep. And I'm at the county and I'm the Republican leader at the county, so I have a little bit of influence on what happens. I represent my whole caucus. And about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I don't remember exactly when it was, I went to the county and I raised so much hell in the Public Works and Transportation meeting that the entire committee agreed with me. And then I got the chairman of that committee to talk with Jeff Ronaldson, and we stopped the whole thing temporarily. Now, I don't know how long that temporarily thing was, because normally what happens is when you have an argument at the board, it goes to the full board for a vote, and they don't do anything without a full board vote. But because I got the entire committee angry, they temporarily stopped it. So now that was a good thing, but how long are they going to stop it? That's the next question. So I figured it was somewhere between 30 and 60 days before it would go to the full board. When it goes to the full board, I got news for you. They don't care about Homer Glen. There's 22 commissioners. One person lives in Homer Glen, me. That's it. The rest of them live in another city, so they don't care about us. I do because I live here. So I had our attorney from the township draw up a jurisdictional transfer to the township and presented it at the county today. And I told Ronaldson, that's the head engineer, that if the Village of Homer Glen wants to take care of all these people, it's fine with me. We support the Village of Homer Glen. But if the Village of Homer Glen don't want to do it, we're going to go forward as the road district will be doing, not the township, the Homer Township Road District, Memphis will be going forward to take care of the people. But I'm under the impression after this meeting that it sounds like most of the board is in favor of taking care of the people. And by that, I mean not doing anything to change the road and not raising the taxes to do the road, because the township had no intentions of raising taxes, and we're going to leave the road just like it is and take care of it. We've said that numerous times. Now, if the village can do the same thing, we support the village. And I want that real clear, but just remember, everybody, I think Margaret Saber was talking the best about the county. They're going to do that road, and they're going to get federal funding and state funding, and they're not going to wait, because that's how they operate. So, and I'm there, I'm telling you the truth, because I'm on that board, and I know what will happen. So if we stall this thing over and over and over again, you're going to find out the county's going to move in. So now we got a jurisdictional transfer from the county to the township. We need to get one from the village. And then the township backs off, and then the village could do it. If the village finds after the fact that they don't want to do it, they can give it to the township. We'll take it. But that way there's still an out. It's either the village or the township. The village really should take it. It's in the village, but doggone it, we're not going to let that land go bad. So we're going to be there as a backup. And so everybody in the village board knows it now. We're going to be a backup. If you guys can't do it economically, give it to us. We know how to do it.
Thank you. Mr. Balich. I have a question for you. You're their district rep. Can you help them with the speed limit on their roads? I mean, I know they have to go to the Will County Department of Highway, I believe. Is there any way you can get them all fired up too?
Yeah, you know how that works? You're going to get a kick out of how I have to operate. I have to get an email from somebody complaining. Then I send it to the road commissioner and tell him what's going on. Why can't we do this? And then if he doesn't answer me back or doesn't do anything, then I bring it up at the committee, because I'm on every single committee at the county because I'm the leader. And they know I will. So now I say lower the speed limit. Well, I got to get an email. Someone send me an email, sballage@comcast.net or sballage@willcountyillinois.com. Send me an email about the speed limit, and I'll send it to Ronaldson and tell him I want it done. That's how it has to work. Because every time I go to the county board and say, well, we got a problem in Homer Glen, or we got a problem in Homer Township, you know what happens? Nothing. When I get an email, I send it to everybody. I send it to every single person at the board. So when they know they're dealing with me, they got to deal with someone that's going to put a lot of pressure on them. And that's how I work. So if the village sends me one, oh my God, that would be like a home run. So if you guys send an email to me and say, we want to have the speed limit reduced, yeah, that would be like heaven. They would crap in their pants. So it would be the best thing that ever happened. So you guys please do it. Say the trustees and everybody, or the village writes a letter from the village, and we'll get it done real fast, I guarantee you.
So you're not bombarded with emails. We'll be happy to send you a letter.
Yes, I will get it done real fast when I get an email.
Okay.
You can ask people, I don't know if I took care of anybody here before, but when they give me an email, I get it done.
Levy, one of the worst traffic areas we had, 163rd and Cedar. There was no stop sign there with the school. They wouldn't do anything here. I sent Steve an email as a resident, and we got it done. We had to go out there and look, wow, there's traffic. I mean, it's so stupid. But we got stop signs there, and I think we saved lives.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Steve.
Any problems, any of you got ever, send me an email.
What's your email again?
My personal email is sballage, my last name, at comcast.net, BALICH, and then my county email is sballage at willcountyillinois, the whole word, .com. And the emails are how I'm able to force these guys to do something. Otherwise, I get nothing done. So if you call me on the phone, I tell you, please send me an email. I'll listen to you, and I'll say, please send it. That's why, because if you talk to me on the phone, it ain't going to work.
Thank you, Steve. I don't know who was next. Mr. Porfilio.
Thank you. Melissa, great job. I know it took a while to look up all those facts, but I think you did an excellent job. And I would like to thank all the people in the audience that have reflected a lot of my thoughts on ways to keep it the way it is from an engineering perspective. I wanted to speak on that a little bit tonight, and I wanted to speak as the highway commissioner on, yes, I would take over the corridor. I told Heidi actually at the first meeting I met her at, where's she at? She's out in the hallway, I think. I told her that night I would take the corridor over. I'm not going to increase taxes. I'm not going to hire more staff. I know how it's done. 35 years I've been in this business. Highway work all over the country in all levels, in all types of areas. I know what I'm doing. If the village does it, thank you very much, as long as you pay attention to what all the residents said and how they want to keep it alone. Leave it alone. Don't change the speed limit. If anything, lower it. Keep it the way it is. Don't change anything. Don't change the horizontal alignment. Don't change the vertical alignment. Don't widen the damn road. Don't touch the ditches. Leave it alone. Because what's going to happen? Trucks. So when you do pavement design in engineering, there's lots of formulas you got to go through to tell you how to design a pavement, what it's made out of. There's different factors that you look at. And for every single truck, that represents over 3,000 car loadings, which is what, 2 days? I think there was 1,500 cars a day or something, Heidi said. So you don't want any trucks in the corridor, period. You don't want any, and the county is big on that. They're about moving vehicles. They're not about queuing and delays. They're about moving vehicles through there. And many people in the audience mentioned this already. I'm beating a dead horse, but it's a short circuit route from the east from Orland to the south to 6. And we don't want that. The people in the room don't want that. So I encourage the village to please listen to the people in this room. As far as costs go, they're full of crap. It ain't 20 million. There's no way in hell it's 20 million. Not even in California it would cost 20 million. Brett did a good job. He's not here tonight, but he did a good job with Brent Woods presenting some numbers. The geotechnical analysis you haven't seen yet. I don't need to see one. I look at the pavement, I walk the entire route. That pavement's fine. I look at pavement that's 10 years old sometimes that looks worse than that. It's been out there for 40 some years. Well, you know what? It's got pozzolanic powder in it. Nobody knows about that. Not many people know about that. Back in the 90s we used that. It's a cement-based mix. It gets stronger over time. So I think Brett said he walked it too. I don't see a reason to reconstruct the whole damn road. I don't see it. I see removal of the asphalt and replacement of the asphalt. Leave the base the hell alone, because when you disturb it, you weaken it. You don't want to remove it. You want to leave it in. That's gonna decrease costs immensely. And as far as how you stage the construction when you do get to that point, this might be 5-10 years down the road. I wouldn't touch it. What you would want to do is leave it at, I think it's 10-foot lanes right now, Brent?
It's 10
Is it 10 foot?
It's 10 foot, yes.
11?
They're 10. In some areas, they're 10, I believe, and then they said it's between 10 and 11. They told us it would be, well, county told us it was 10. When we went out and measured, it was between 10 and 11.
So the capacity of the road is based on not only the alignments of the road, but the lane widths. Every time you add a foot above 10 feet, it increases, I think, by 1,000 cars a day on how much you can get through there. And trucks don't like 10-foot lanes because when there's a truck going the other way, they might clip mirrors. If you look at the full width of a truck from edge of mirror to edge of mirror, it's like 10, it's approaching 10 feet. So that's another deterrent to trucks in the corridor is the narrow lanes. There's a lot of things that work naturally, and you got to talk about safety a little bit here, but still, there's people that have been out here, 35, 40 years. How many fatal accidents have there been in that amount of time? Maybe a handful? But is it user error? Were they drinking? Was it at night in a rainstorm? I mean, there's a lot of other factors you got to look at, not blame it on the road. There's a lot of other things you got to look at. Reaction time. So, bravo if you take over the road. If you don't decide to take over the road district is ready, got paperwork rolling at the county to take it. So we're going to wait and see what happens, but please don't wait, because once you get to phase 2, you're screwed. You can't do anything. They're moving like a train down a hill. You can't stop it. So you have to get together, pool your resources, decide what you want to do, and realize that the cost on this can be split into different years of improvements. You don't have to do all 4 miles at once. You can stage it. Just realize that. That's all I got. Thanks.